at least grabbed some of those cans at the last supermarket.
Didn't you see the Geiger counter lighting up like a Christmas tree?
Oh, come on, I'll buy the effort.
Do you want to glow in the dark? There. There's a warehouse around here. Come on, let's go.
Jackpot!
Wait, stop. Do you hear that?
Yo, more newcomers! Hey, the set just started. Let's go!
You realize what's going on outside?
Chill, my dude. You only live once after Doomsday.
Yeah, my stomach can wait a bit longer. We could have at least grabbed some of those cans at the last supermarket.
Didn't you see the Geiger counter lighting up like a Christmas tree?
Oh, come on, I'll buy the effort.
Do you want to glow in the dark? There. There's a warehouse around here. Come on, let's go.
Jackpot!
Wait, stop. Do you hear that?
Yo, more newcomers! Hey, the set just started. Let's go!
You realize what's going on outside?
Chill, my dude. You only live once after Doomsday.
Yeah, my stomach can wait a bit longer. We could have at least grabbed some of those cans at the last supermarket.
Didn't you see the Geiger counter lighting up like a Christmas tree?
Oh, come on, I'll buy the effort.
Do you want to glow in the dark? There. There's a warehouse around here. Come on, let's go.
Jackpot!
Wait, stop. Do you hear that?
Yo, more newcomers! Hey, the set just started. Let's go!
You realize what's going on outside?
Chill, my dude. You only live once after Doomsday.
Yeah, my stomach can wait a bit longer. We could have at least grabbed some of those cans at the last supermarket.
Didn't you see the Geiger counter lighting up like a Christmas tree?
Oh, come on, I'll buy the effort.
Do you want to glow in the dark? There. There's a warehouse around here. Come on, let's go.
Jackpot!
Wait, stop. Do you hear that?
Yo, more newcomers! Hey, the set just started. Let's go!
Is that this one?
Thank you.
Hello. Hi. We have some people in the stream. Maybe a little bit. I've got a feature chat up. Shifter, help me out with that. Let's make sure that that works.
Who's gonna fish?
Feature chat. Just chat. Just chat. Let's see if it pops up. They have been chatting. Are they chatting? I'll bring the other chat in. I'll bring the other chat in because this is a sort of a bigger session. Just 1 second, guys. Let me bring in the other chat. 1 second.
It doesn't look like it's working.
Yeah, let me bring that in for you. Let me just fix it. 1 second. Full screen stuff. Hi. Hi. Hi to the chat. Hi to everybody out here. We have a bunch of VKet ambassadors here. We have a bunch of VKet GA members here. It is Saturday. It's Saturday night. It's Saturday night. It's 7 o'clock Eastern time. And we are, at the moment, setting up for a VKet info session. I am just apparently losing my arm continuously. Let's fix that. So, what we're doing today is we're essentially setting up a session to explain like what is VKet, why you would want to exhibit at VKet, and since we're doing it through Groups Fair, we've invited a lot of people to come help us out and learn a little bit more about this. I'm going to record this session today. We're going to be streaming this session, so we're live on YouTube, we're live on my X account, we're live on Kick, and we're live on Twitch. So if you guys chat, we should see you. I'm just going to make sure that this is on and in the front. Are we there? Are we there? Hey, Wolfang, hello. Okay, so I'm up here with my lovely wife, Shifter K, who has been a VKet exhibitor for about 6 years now. And of course, many of you who are out here have also been VKet exhibitors in various ways, whether it was a community VKet exhibit or an exhibitor yourself. Some of our ambassadors, of course, have been out there, and we're going to have a session to understand what that's all about as well. And I will ask you guys questions. My cone of silence ends right here. So this triangular area where I'm going to put a sticker right there. If you are not there, I can't hear you. Okay? So you've got to be there, at least, or closer. So if you have questions as we're going through things. Because we're in a group public instance, and because this is part of Groups Fair, the lovely Haya Chikaze, who has joined us over there, has put together a PDF for us, and I'm going to use this to go through our info session because I cannot use Slide and App. Normally I would use that over there, but because it's Groups Fair and it's group public, we have to use the stream. So this might be a little delayed, and I apologize for that. So if I am super delayed, I can't help it. I will do my best. So we'll try to get through this as fast as we can, and then we'll open it up for a Q&A session. It'll take me about a half hour probably to go through all of these things, and we'll just talk a little bit about what VKet is. And I'll do what I do, and hopefully all of you can chime in and help with that. If you are standing out here, I know a lot of you are already insiders. I would love for you to invite friends as much as you can. So if you have, like, just let's while we're here, let's just go into our friends list, and anyone who you know makes cool stuff, and maybe hasn't done a VKet exhibit before, whether they're a content creator doing videos on the internet, whether they have a group in VRChat that deserves a little bit more showcasing, whether they are someone who is an avatar creator or a world creator, or maybe they make props, or maybe they make like amazing worlds like fish. You know, that'd be cool. I would love to have some of those creators like Godfall in here and showcasing the rest of the world what they do. We are blessed with a few amazing creators here today as well. Hash has joined us. Karen has joined us. Sinrith has joined us. Good to see you, Hash. By the way, I love this camera. We're going to have to play around with this later on after this session. I picked up a GC0308. So that'll be fun. We'll play with that a little bit. And talk about how you can get cheap face tracking. And maybe you're a face tracking creator. Maybe you make avatar add-ons. Maybe you make outfits, We want to have you guys in here. So I'm going to wait a couple of minutes because it's only 7 after 7. So if you guys have any friends who you think should be part of this and like you want to encourage them, this room holds 80. So let's grab more of them while we stand here and yap about stuff. All right, go ahead. Figure it out. I'll give you guys a chance. Closer. Got to be past me, my little guy there. There you go.
Hello, I have a question.
I have an answer.
I've never been here before. What is VKet?
What is VKet? Okay. Virtual Market is the world's largest virtual convention. We've been here for, I think this is our 7th year now. We've been doing events in VRChat since 2018. And this will be like our 17th event, I think, something like that this summer. And we are we are an indie creator convention. That's what we do. And we get sponsors who come along and help us out with with funding these sorts of things. We also have one of the largest social VR conventions in the world in person in Tokyo, Japan, called VketReal. That usually happens in Akihabara and a bunch of other places with volunteers, and that gets 50,000 people over 2 days every 6 months. So it's definitely worth it. I'm probably doubling my audio for everybody here, but if you're close enough, don't worry about not being close or being close. But anyway, yeah, we'll grab a few. We'll wait until let's say 7:11. Sounds like a good time. And we'll wait till people are in here. I'll go through the info session. We'll see however many people you can grab. Anyone you can think of who might want to be in here. I'm gonna look myself too. A lot of you are already in here, so I'm gonna sort by invitability. However well that works. We'll see. We'll see. We've got a couple more. Who else should be in here? Let's see. I know one that definitely should. Let's see. And of course, for anybody who's watching right now, yeah, please. Artists are good. Mint Chocolate Cannon. Art is great. A lot of artists collaborate with people in VKet, whether they're making character art or world design art, or even just an artist. You can have a booth. It's really easy to do, and we also have VKet Booth Maker, so you don't actually need to have Unity skills to showcase yourself in here. All right. I think Shifter's almost back. Almost back. Artists are good. I'm going to keep inviting people. One more minute. Couple more. Let's see. A lot of people I know right now are doing performances in various events. Saturday night is always lit in VRChat, and even if you're not here with us, I'm sure there is something going on that you want to be at. Project Fang is going on right now. The Mokuri meetup is happening right after this. What else is happening? Well, an hour and a half after that, or an hour after this. What else are we doing? I guess Shelter's tonight too. Yeah, there's a lot. There is too much.
Sign of good sleep.
All right, let's see.
Isn't the sign of good, good sleep is when your face has like prints on it, or your arm has like print on it. Okay.
All right, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna get started on this. So, once again, thanks, Haya. Hey, you made it. You have audio again.
Yes, I have. I can see now. My headset's not going black anymore.
First gen big screen problems. All right, guys. So virtual market info session. I'm gonna go ahead and try to maximize this. We'll see if I can get through. We can get through them all. Yeah, we can. Nice. Once again, thank you, Haya, for putting this together for me. It's always nice to have a backdrop. This should update. Is it updated? Huh? Yeah.
What is VKet? VKet World Event.
Yeah. So it's a little delayed in here. So here's the so for the people on the stream, I'm gonna kind of like do it with the stream. If you want to refresh the stream, feel free. There's a refresh button over here as well. But it'll be a little delayed this side, but we're gonna kind of go through the thing either way. So it will be like slightly delayed, but I cannot use sliding over here. So here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna go through it. I'm gonna talk, and we'll leave about we'll probably get a half hour, 25 minutes about just questions, anything you guys have. So what is VKet? We're going to go over VKet Worlds. We're going to go over the events itself, how to submit stuff, and a Q&A. Okay? Hey, it's Virtual Market 2026 summer. That's going to happen from July 11th to July 26th, 2026. It still feels weird to say that, to say 2026. But we are here in 2026, still doing VKet, and we do one every 6 months. This event, because it happens in July, means that we need to take submissions like pretty early. We'll need to grab submissions for VKet pretty soon, but there's 2 steps to this, and the first step is to register your interest. Okay. And the second step is to actually upload something. So you don't have to have anything ready for VKet like now, like right now at all. You just have to have an interest in doing VKet. If you have some existing avatar projects or you're working on something, like once we release like the exhibitor signups, you do not have to be ready to go from that point. You just have to like have an interest in being an exhibitor at VKet. Okay. All right, let's talk about worlds. There's three kinds. There's corporate worlds, creator worlds, and recreator worlds. So corporate worlds are worlds for corporate companies. These are people who want to come to VCAT and be and advertise through our process. This is essentially like how VCAT stays solvent and does what we do. We've had a lot of excellent companies over the years, people like Netflix and Sanyo and Sony and Panasonic and Sega and Netflix and Disney Plus and you name it. We've had tons and tons of companies come in, but we've also had some Western companies as well from a global perspective, people like GamerSups and a bunch of other groups. So if you work for a company that is looking for new, like if you work in marketing or you know anybody who'd be interested in that, you can get a hold of me and we'll talk to you. It's lun@vrhickey.com. And we'd love to have you. So if there's any corporations or small businesses, especially ones that are adjacent to VTubers and other like anime conventions, that sort of thing, those sorts of things hit really well in VCAT. And if you want to showcase or advertise there, we'd love to have you. So please come in. The corporate worlds are a draw for new users, and they bring a lot of people. But the real reason why people come to VCAT in general is because it's a giant indie creator convention. It's very similar to the Artist Alley at like Anime New York or San Francisco Anime Con or Comiket in Japan. And the corporate worlds are just like the cherry on top, right? And then the recreator worlds, these are ones that we bring back every year as a redo of a previous world design where we've enhanced it, we've increased the performance, and it's an easy way for us to bring additional worlds in and have more creators. Because the demand for people to have a booth in VCAT pretty much always exceeds the number of slots that we have. There's only so many individual creators that we can manage, even though we have a website and a flow to do it. And it gets kind of overwhelming otherwise. But every VCAT, we have about 3,000 new items and about 500 to 800 new creators that come in and do something every time. So it's a lot of fun. Don't forget, you can always have a booth with your friends. Even if you don't get in, maybe one of your friends did. And that's something that you can use as a sneaky way to get in. And I've done plenty of booths with my friends over the years to kind of handle that. And we've invited like a ton of people into our booths over the years as well. All right. So VCAT Stage. We also have a bit of information here about VCAT Stage and VCAT Lounge. So let me just, back up. Using the scroll wheel is like really hard here. All right, so VCAT Stage. VCAT Stage is a stage that exists in our entrance world. This is the it's going to take a minute to pop up in here, but the VCAT 2025 Winter World had a stage as well. We provide microphones and boosted audio and the ability to load, things from VRCDN and Twitch and other things like that, kind of like what I'm doing right now. You're able to perform on stage. Now, you can do events with us, and we have a way to promote those events, and it's free to do. So if you go to our website, vket.com, you make a VCAT account, you can register a personal event on there, and that will show up in our calendar in the entrance world. That's going to happen this time as well, and it's happened for the last 2 VCATs. So we'd love to have you there. If you want to throw an event, if you want to have a DJ party, if you want to sing, if you want to do anything, this is a way to showcase yourself, even if you don't get into the event. So at the end of VCAT, there's a bazillion ways that you can be part of it, no matter what, even if you don't manage to go past the lottery, right? So VCAT Stage is a great way to do that. Another option is VCAT Lounge. And during VCAT Lounge, we have different ways that you can collaborate with us through with your communities. And we provide these fun community spaces inside the worlds where you can host like maid cafes or like RP sessions or get-togethers or talk about or fandoms or whatever it is you want to do. So once again, if you have a booth or if you don't have a booth, you can come in and do those sessions with us. And we give you a bunch of other stuff in here like a boosted microphone, which I wish I had in here. Things like like a special stamping system so that you can have that on your live stream. Eatable food and chairs where people can sit around, and essentially it's a zone inside of a world where
It's a dedicated meeting space inside of a work. You can
Yeah.
host events, club meetings, info sessions like this, such and such.
Yeah, exactly. It is pretty good, and they're themed around like the world. So the last one we did was Kowloon Empire Void Alley had its own little section, like a cafe with different like street foods and things like that. But we also had in our corporate world a tatami mat like restaurant area, and Yume Maid Cafe, for example, did a lovely event in there as well. So so don't think that even if you have a booth or even if you don't have a booth, if you have a community and you want to do something at VKet, if you're like you're in the music community and you want to do that sort of thing, you can do that kind of thing at VKet Stage or VKet Lounge as well. All right. Collaborations and events. Every year at VKet, we do collaborations at events. We've done Jet Ski Rush in the past, for example, and you can still get the special colorized VKet ski. We gave away a bunch of like really interesting items. Sometimes we give away those items at like charity events and other places. It's really hard to get. So we do collaborations, and if your community has something really interesting, if you're doing a charity or you'd like to host a tournament or a gaming session inside or during VKet, that helps promote us, and then we can help promote you as well through our official channels. So if you have a community that does that kind of stuff, we'd love to have that as well. We've done things with VR dancing. We've done things with the local police department. We've done things with Lux Nova. We've done things with a bazillion different groups over the years, both Japanese and English, and community collab worlds as well. Those community collab both worlds and larger size booths, we do put out a special request for those, and you get to have this like double wide trailer inside VKet. It's like larger than your standard booth. It's usually at the beginning of the world, and then that community booth will live in VKet forever as part of the world. So if you have a larger community or even a smaller community and you want to apply, we have a standard form for doing that and some information sessions for that as well. And that can be really fun because you get a little bit of a not only is it free because there isn't any charge for that kind of booth. We are very picky, so the global team does select those booths directly. So we'd love to have you in there if and show us what you got. We try to choose different and newer communities every single year. Sometimes they come back, but a lot of it comes down to how many people apply. So the more of you that invite people to here that are from different communities inside VRChat, the more variety of booths that we'll get over the years, right? Here's some examples. You'll see them behind me in a moment. Here's some examples of all the different booths that we've had. So we've got Jet Ski Rush in here, Terrors of Nowhere that was in the Anomalous Research Lab, the Faceless, which we did. And actually, I should add to this, we also do collaborations during the off season. So we recently just did a charity collaboration event with the Faceless, and we also did a charity collaboration with Gearfest just before that. And between those two groups, we raised 8,000 US for the World Wildlife Foundation, or no, 2,700 US for the World Wildlife Foundation through the Faceless, and what was it? Was Doctors Without Borders for Gearfest was 8,000 US dollars. So sometimes the extra impact of being connected to virtual market can help a little bit, and obviously their own local efforts made a huge thing. So if you have a community and you're doing stuff within VKet and you'd like to do that, like in between in the off season as well, like we'll come hang out with you. But we're more likely to do that if you're a community that's been or applied to community booths in the past. What else are we on here? I'm missing one slide. Here we go. All right, so this is the event announcement slide. Essentially, this is what I was kind of yapping about earlier. On our website, vket.com, if you make a VKet account, you're able to create in-venue event listings. And with those in-venue event listings, you can list that you're going to be at an event or going to be hosting an event at your booth. And then you can link the venue itself and the event itself. I have a feeling that this will get enhanced a little bit since the group sphere system is up now and working a little bit differently. You'll probably see more of this, but regardless, there is a calendar on vket.com that you can use to host your own stuff. You'll see in here there's a few events. There's Failed to Render, there's the LPD Patrol event, there was the Tabe Monofest Any Clover collab at the end of VKet Winter as well. Nopede was here. Nopede is here. Nopede is here. There, right there. And they had a Korean altogether exhibitor hop as well. So it's super fun. Hey, little Huey, good to see you here. We got lots of classic fans here. What else? Let's talk a little bit about submissions. Back. Okay, there we go. How to submit. So behind me in a moment, you're going to see a slide called How to Submit. The important thing to remember now, though, is that when we open up applications for VKet, it is just mostly an application for interest. The submission process comes much later. VKet doesn't start until July, and even though it's not till July, that happens pretty quickly. But it's a good idea to like kind of put something together, even if you're going to apply. You don't have to have anything ready though by the time you're applying for exhibition. Oftentimes, looking at the world art and looking at some of the assets that we give you, we've got some booth prefabs and other things like that, will help you sort of build your booth out for the first time, even if you've got nothing ready, right? But submission is fairly straightforward, and this goes through a little bit of that. Essentially, you're going to download VKet Tools, which is an additional SDK on a clean Unity project, hopefully. You install it, you import your booth assets, which is just whatever you've made, and you add your necessary features, you check for any errors, things like whether the booth is too large or it's got too many draw calls, and of course the community will help you with that. We've added something really great recently called a Global Assist, and the members of Global Assist work with a lot of new VKet exhibitors to help them get their booths in. People like Shifter as well, and other folks who are regulars in the Discord are more than happy to help if you ask, like, how do I make this work? The SDK has gone through a lot of evolution over the years. Since 2018, it's been, previously you just submit a Unity package, and now it's all part of something called VidDeck, which is a collaborative project that just loads everything in. We check everything for you, so if it works in Unity, if it works in the preview, it's probably going to work in the world, and you're going to be good to go. There are some differences between what kinds of worlds you might be in. There are item worlds, there's item submissions, there's full-size booths, which are hotly contested. But if you have an avatar on the creative market, like on VRChat's avatar marketplace, and the general like content creation stuff, you should be able to handle this. So that's it. I can't tell you the exact date, but it's going to be way sooner than you think for the submission itself. So the floor is open. You guys can ask questions. I see a lot of friendly faces in here from people from over the years. I'm glad that you guys came along and checked this out with us today. I'm going to turn on my regular camera.
Ooh, whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to, like,
I'm open. Yeah, I'm open for
Open
questions. So open
I mean,
questions.
if there's anything related to the booths, other than like the submission day.
Yeah, whatever you guys want.
If you have a question, stand on the MUI so that way we can hear you and you can see you in frame. If you want to line up behind the MUI, if you have questions,
Hey,
MUI
Sly.
sticker, which is right there, if you can see it.
I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of this on. It's good to see a lot of folks here. So yeah, I think I did pretty good there. It's 7:30. We got another half hour, so we can yap about whatever you guys want to yap about.
Hello.
This is an info meeting about VKet. No ayuda para eso.
Or if you have a question that you think would be good for everybody here, like, or like an answer that, or like a question that you think would make a good bit of talking, feel free to let me know. Anything you feel would make sense, right?
Okay.
Okay, if you can see the stick, that's where the MUI sticker is. That's where you can line up if you have a question.
The World Hop, or is it?
No, the World Hop would have been.
Disappointed by the press.
No questions.
Any questions?
Don't be shy.
Any questions at all?
Sunday, Saturday.
You can ask us questions too.
Mis preguntas son
Sorry, guy.
marketing. Typical easy question. Do you have like options if I don't know how to use Unity?
Yes. So we briefly mentioned this earlier, and I don't have a slide for it, but we have something called VKet Booth Maker. So we have a system called VKet Cloud that we use for like a. It's essentially like a. It's a. How do I explain this? It's our own game engine, and it works on the web. We also develop things for Meta Horizons and other stuff like that as well. But as part of that, we've built a pretty lovely system for uploading a booth from scratch using prefab assets, and some of those assets are even like really. How do I explain this? They're even like a bunch of like really cool stuff that has happened in previous VKets. So, like assets and different props and booths from previous VKets, you can load into VKet Booth Maker, and it's just VKet Cloud. It's essentially a scene, and you get like this really nice wireframe, and you essentially everything inside the wireframe gets uploaded directly to VRChat, and you don't even need to use Unity. You can build a booth on your mobile phone if you want. So, or in your MetaQuest browser, which is kind of fun. So that's it works really, really well for people who are artists or maybe not Unity people. Or if you make VRMs, you can also upload VRMs directly to VK Cloud as well. So if you make all of your stuff on mobile apps, you can do that and upload content directly to VK. It also supports things like music, video players. You can link to your YouTube channel. It's really easy if you're a VTuber and you want to showcase that stuff, or you're an artist and you want to showcase that stuff, because you can just upload images onto web panels. Within the system, wrap it all in this one little button, and then upload it. With Avatar Maker, we also allow like you to upload accessories and different clothing options and different configurations for Avatar Maker. We have a whole system there as well, and you can apply to be a seller on that site, and you can use those Avatar Maker avatars as an uploadable system directly to VRChat as well. And you can sell them through our e-commerce site at Avatar Maker as well. And those get uploaded directly to VRChat. If you guys remember Ready Player Me, we have the only, like besides Sanrio, we have the only direct upload to VRChat system for avatars on the web. Can't hear you. Hold on. Can't hear you. Louder.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I have an article from May last year that explains how to submit a booth using Booth Maker. I can put that link in the Twitch.
So if you're on the Twitch chat, it's in there.
So there it is there. And I also have the website for Avatar Maker, which you can check out as well. So both of those are in the Twitch chat right now.
Yep.
Related. Go to London Shifter and they'll answer questions.
Yeah, literally anything you guys want to know. Okay. We're here for that. We're here for that now for the next like 30 minutes.
To I guess
yeah, pretty much.
Other things that are going on after this tonight. I know we got a lot of you here. We're going to be doing a Mokuri meetup at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and that's going to be at Project Fang, which is happening right now, which is a fur convention through Project Community. You guys can go to. We have a booth over there as well.
I'll probably have questions.
You should try. Crimson, you got anything? You got anything that you would submit? It doesn't have to be your own avatar.
Not at the moment, but when I do plan, if I ever do make something, then I'll definitely make a booth.
Well, let me give you some examples of things that.
Since I'm not good at making worlds.
Yeah, advertise yourself. Advertise your social medias. If you've got a group that you particularly like, maybe offer. Like if you get a booth in VKet, maybe offer that you can promote that group for them. Let me give you some ideas of some of the things that have been like submitted at VKet that aren't avatars. So avatars are obvious. Like some of the largest creators in the world, like Jingo and other people who have done they're the largest avatar creators in all of VRChat who have made a career of doing stuff in here. People like Hash who have had VKet booths in the past as well. Just to give you an idea of some of the things that aren't avatars or avatar accessories, we've had musicians come and do things in here. And we used to have a music VKet, but we still accept musicians, of course, at regular VKet. We've had VTuber groups, both corporate and non-corporate, come in as indie exhibitors and do things as well. We've had people promote their regular YouTube channels, their comedy shows, their indie music, or their indie or their tech, their tech channel. We've had people advertise their books, like their textbooks and their personal journals, or sometimes even their 3D printed products. So things like track strap accessories and like spacers for like a wall mounted Vive tracker setup. What else? Robotics clubs, people who have done like robotics football or soccer, right? We've had people share things like like everything from like everything under the sun, including like their own like role play groups, inside VRChat and outside VRChat, tabletop RPGs, you name it. They're like anything. Balloon animals. I'm not even kidding a little bit. They've exhibited at VKet Real, and we even like showcased them on Harajuku on the arch at Takeshita Street in real Harajuku in real Tokyo. The person who made those balloon animals, they did a VketChan like 1 and 2 or like Nigo Ichigo for us, and we had those balloon animals like on Takeshita Street in Harajuku. So kind of crazy, right? Like that, but those are the kinds of things that you can get involved and do. Other things that happen during VKet are collab streamers. So we put a call out for people who want to come in and stream VKet with us and just showcase some of the stuff that's out there, maybe go through some booths with us. And those channels get featured in our entrance world as well as embedded in our website. So you get an additional boost of viewers on there as well. We have a Twitch streaming team that goes with all of our ambassadors as well, and we're actually taking submissions right now for Gen 3 ambassadors, which will work with our Gen 2 ambassadors and our GA members, and our Gen 1 ambassadors as well, to kind of learn the ropes and join us for summer and winter. There's a form up right now on EN VKet on X or en.vket.com on Blue Sky if you prefer, and you can find that Google form now. To learn a little bit about that, and we'll have an info session for ambassador signups on Tuesday of next week regarding that as well. So there's a lot you can do. What else? Posters. If you want to do posters at VKet, that'll be a submission that you can do. If you want to share your group logo with us, we implement the group logo in the worlds in various ways. So in places like VKet Formula, as you race through VKet Formula, you'll see logos from different communities show up, and those are all user submitted. We even take sometimes 3D model submissions or texture submissions. Back in VKet Mart at the last event, we had a bunch of like grocery items like ice cream and cans of like drinks and things like macaroni that were all part of that. So you'll see different submissions and things like that pop up during the event. So even if you don't feel like you have something, to submit at VKet, whether it's an avatar or you're a world creator, or maybe you're making like Unity extensions or Blender extensions, whatever it is. If you don't do that stuff, there's a bazillion other ways that you can communicate, and share information with other people. So whether you're doing performances in here or elsewhere. We have folks that come in that aren't even really VR chatters that will submit avatars and other projects as a way to showcase like what they do in 3D art. Maybe most of the time they may not be like VRChat community members, although we love to have them. We have people who come in as 3D artists who are kind of outside of that, and that's one of the neat draws about it. Well, you'll see a lot of people from external to it, and pretty much every one of our like corporate exhibitors probably is too. They're sort of external to this world of virtual market, and they come in as as somebody who's new to this and learn a little bit about it. Eventually, if they like what they like, the sort of response that they got, groups like Canon have collaborated with our ambassadors and some of our like fans of VKet to do things together with them. Like a good example is Ponda from the VRChat or VR 3D Scanning Club. Got to collaborate with Canon on their new 3D lens to shoot a bunch of like really interesting 3D photography, and we released a shader from Canon directly where you could see those videos and images in 3D. And that's just a community member who got to work with a massive camera company because they showed interest, and over the years, like, were able to showcase some things that were actually really interesting to them, and then that worked out, and that can be you too. There's been some incredible collaborations that we've done with people who big and small, like VTubers and YouTubers, big and small, and community members, big and small, who have done stuff, who are able to collaborate then with corporate entities in the future because of that connection or being part of VKet in general. Right? That's just a very small part of it. Like the iceberg is deep. So it goes very deep. Let's talk about kind of like, okay, if you've done avatars yourself, let's say you've done like kit bashes or you've worked on stuff with Booth, maybe you've done like texture replacements. We have people who've done like very, very basic avatar setups or texture replacement setups or like very small accessories and that sort of thing as their first thing in VKet. right? Like no matter what your skill level is, like feel free to showcase it, especially if you've got things that you want to showcase, right? So
Where do I line up for questions again?
right here.
As usual, if anybody has any questions, just come on over here.
Yeah, right up here. Right here. Yeah, ask questions.
Hi.
Hi, Ariel.
I'm a person. Hello. I was wondering if I have things that I'm thinking of making boots for, but like, am I allowed to like use things that, because when I make worlds, sometimes I take assets from online.
Right.
I have a license, and I put those in. Am I allowed to do?
Yes, you are. So you are allowed to use those kinds of assets in VKet as long as the license allows you to do so. Right? So if the license is open and it says you can use it.
If you use it on walls and avatar, it's okay.
Yeah, generally speaking, yeah. As long as it says is like if it's something from Booth and they're using like the VMC license or something like that, and it says very clearly that you're allowed to upload it to public, then you're allowed to do that. With VKet, it's a little different because the booths themselves aren't exactly public; they're just part of it. So if you were to get a Unity asset pack and use parts of those, as long as the asset pack says once you buy it, you can do it however you want, redistribute it, it's fine. We're not giving those assets to anyone else. It's just part of the world. So that's generally okay. But, you know, if you have any questions about it, we have a Discord. And, you know, please pop in there and let us know. Because, like, I can definitely tell you, like, within a few minutes, myself or someone else will be able to tell you the legal about that. So, but it's a very, that's actually a really good question because it's a common ask. Like, a lot of people will do modifications of their avatars and other things like that. And some of those parts, especially in the Western community, we tend to do a lot of that, right? Like I know you make a lot of your own stuff from scratch, but there are a lot of people who don't, and they'll use like parts that say that they're like available for use, right? And in that case, yes, but it becomes a gray area when you're releasing avatars in VKet, as long as the like you cover it in sample logos and stuff, generally it's okay. You know, some of those licenses change depending on who's giving them out, right?
Okay, thank you. Yay.
You're welcome. No, that's a great question. We get a lot of that. A lot of people make people make things from scratch. We get a lot of like really cool shaders and other things that end up in there, but people utilize a lot of shaders as well. We've gotten permission from groups like people like Poyomi and Silent and Little Tune to use those shaders as part of our VKet SDK. And so there's a lot of like freebies in our stuff that you can use as well. VKet also releases base meshes. One good example is Crimson here is wearing Game VketChan's shirt and coat at the moment. So that's something that you can download as well. So VketChan, Ichigo Nigo, and VketNyan and Game VketChan are all freely downloadable models that you can modify or make clothing for or whatever you'd like, and use them in VKet. So is Mokuri. Matter of fact, that's a pretty good way to do it too. We have a lot of freebies, a lot of open source stuff that we release as well. VidDeck itself, the system that makes VKet possible, if you wanted to run your own convention, that's a free download as well, that you can grab off of GitHub. So if you have any questions about that, the technical side of things, like how it works in Unity, that sort of stuff, we're always available here, either here or on our Discord as well.
Next question. There's a line for questions.
Yeah, there's any line. Just come up and talk. yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Shadow River is at the front of the line right now.
Also, we do
no.
and we do regular meetups every Wednesday.
I thought you have a question.
We're here every Wednesday as well. We do a regular World Hop that is streamed just like we're doing on Twitch right now. It's a lot of fun. Every week we get together and go through old VKet worlds. There is over 300 themes. Going through old worlds as well is a great way to get inspiration. Look at what other people have done. Say I could do that or I could do that better. Be inspired by those old creators.
Hi.
It's me, D.
Hi, Crane.
Question.
What up,
Sorry
Crane?
for interrupting you, and you're sort of speaking to it.
Forward.
Oh, thank you. That's good. Doing good. So, say, maybe not that I'm a questie, but that, I don't make avatars. I'm not looking to have a booth. I'm not really looking to exhibit or do anything like that. But what do I do at VKet? What is there for me?
So That's actually a really good question too. There's a lot you can do even just to celebrate VKet. You can go to parties with our friends and all of the collaborative group events that we were talking about earlier. You can win freebies by completing different quests. Our ambassadors and GA members have made a vending machine, for example, that has a secret code that you can download a bunch of items on Booth and Jinxie for free. There's also usually giveaways from all of our like major collaborators. One particularly generous one is Universal Entertainment. Universal Entertainment Japan is a company that does like pachinko machines and other things like that, but they have a bunch of anime and other things that go along with it, and they give away outfits for super popular avatars. You can get like super detailed like whole outfits and accessories for your avatars for free in all of the corporate worlds. And since those worlds only last for a couple of weeks, they usually have tons and tons of giveaways that are in there. On top of that, I would say about good 30 to 45% of the booths that are in VKet have something for free in them that you can download. So that's like, it's worth it just to go through the worlds and like just find these limited items. Sometimes your favorite avatar creator might have something for sale because Booth and Jinxie both have a system where you can have a discount for a limited period of time. And oftentimes during the VKet event, they'll have that discounted, as well as on VRChat's creator economy. Sometimes there'll be a discount there as well. So you can go and try those avatars on before you buy them. The other thing is going and meeting your favorite creator, right? Like if your favorite creator happens to be an exhibitor at VKet, a good example over there is Sinreth, who was inside her booth a bunch to showcase what she was doing at VKet, as well as Avatar Atelier and other groups that they're part of. You could go meet them and meet those people. You can also meet VTubers. Pretty much all the girls from 3 a.m. Showed up thanks to Mr. Roo, who's hiding over there, who has done a booth for us, done a booth for them as a fan inside VKet. They were in Kowloon Empire last time, and you could meet all of the VTubers from 3 a.m. if you like those guys. And also, some of our ambassadors are from VTuber groups like V4 Mirai. And you'll find that there's a lot of celebrities that have done things. Karen over here provided the voice of our the anti-protagonist, in Nostalgia Storybook, but he got to do that alongside Yuguri from V4 Mirai as well, and so you get to meet some pretty famous people. That's another thing that you can do. You can also go to concerts and other events and roleplay events and you name it. Lore hops, those are super fun. Whatever you want to do. Dance lessons for free. You can go hang out with the folks at, like last time we had the people from the Mighty Gym, right? And that's another thing you can do, and go hang out with them. You will never be bored. There is always an event. Like during VKet, we just fill the events calendar with stuff, like pretty much nonstop, and there's pretty much something to do all day, every day, and it is a lot of fun. You can submit your artwork. You can be part of, all of those different things. So, and also being part of those events, getting into our live streams, going to the parties that come along with it, go to maid cafes, go to roleplay events, learn about communities, hang out with your favorite creators. There's a lot you can do. It's really fun. That's why I'm still here.
For answering
was that a good answer? I hope that was a good answer. You can make videos. you can make videos. You do documentaries, anything you want.
Howdy, sorry for being
Hi.
on desktop. Question for world creators.
Sure.
Are booths allowed to have any sort of udon scripting, and if so, what are some limitations on that?
You can have all the udon scripting you want, well, to a limit. So for our regular size booth, we have about 10 scripts, but this number changes from SDK to SDK. You can build an entire game system into your udon booth if you want. A really good example is Xantos, who built an entire dungeon crawling RPG into his booth with leveling up and monsters and all kinds of stuff. Unbelievable amounts of things you can fit into a booth. You could probably put a mini version of Bump and Bash into a VKet booth if you wanted to. It's pretty impressive. We do give you a lot of space.
Biggest limitation is that the player needs to be inside your booth. After they leave, the udon script stops working.
That's right. So Shadow River has done many booths.
And they use the Q-Storm, and there's Q-Storm events that overrides, so it's protecting that. So script need to be prepared for VKet specifically.
So every booth is its own. Imagine it's its own little scene and prefab, right? And so every VKet booth that you put out, those booths have their own like set of Udon scripts, which you're able to do. You're able to upload your own shaders and music and background music. You can even fade out the world background music as well as part of a script. And we provide a bunch of like toggles and other like basic VKet stuff. Yeah, seeding prefabs, video players, things like that, right? But if you want to write your own Udon scripts, you can have about 10 of them in a standard booth. And you can even make like one giant omnibus script and like call it all from a bunch of like different Udon behaviors. Like you can do that. And then what we do is we take your entire booth and it has essentially a collider volume. And when you leave that collider volume, those scripts turn off because they're part of their own subroutine. And as you go into the booth, then the scripts turn back on again. So it can be pretty nice. We offer you a couple of things that let you do stuff in the world as well. Like you can bring a pickup out of your booth as well and carry it around the world. Usually, it depends on how the world is designed. We also include things like audio link and direction if you need tangents and things like that. It's pretty advanced, and the SDK has a lot of details. And in fact, a lot of the documentation of the SDK is actually still there on VKet's website. So if you want to learn more about like how the previous ones worked, it'll be similar.
That's what I want. What's your Discord? I will send you.
Yes, the documentation is great.
Like there's simple
you're welcome.
rules.
Yeah, you'd be so impressed by some of the
limitations of Udon.
That's right. You'd be so impressed by some of the things people have built into their booths. Not only that, some of our ambassadors and like the Global Assist members have built prefabs that like work really well for things like this. Like for example, DBQT built a really clean script that shrinks you down as you enter the booth, so you could build a really big environment inside because you can make everybody small, right? So there's lots of cool ways. Yeah, that's the way to go. And we love creativity like that, right? People like Nekwini have built like super popular booths where you're immersed in this entire environment with stencil shaders and all kinds of stuff, you know, pretty fantastic. Thanks for the question. That's a great question. Yeah, Udon, we love Udon. I was here when we started.
People shrink booths.
Yep.
People shrink booths to make space bigger.
Yep.
I actually do that. I currently do that in development build for Weapon Bash.
There you go.
So I can just move that over.
Okay, yeah, you can use the same script.
By the way.
I have a question.
Fire away.
For first-time creators, there's a tutorial for first-time creators that make content.
Yeah, there is. So we're gonna put out a tutorial for submission, and we're also gonna put out a submission we're gonna put out a tutorial for SDKs and for Boothmaker as well, going into this VKet. And we have past tutorials that you can go check out as well. VKet Boothmaker is not hard to use. If you go look up, I'm trying to think of who would be a good example. Nyaru, like Nyarachu, the VTuber, she's made a video about that, and a live stream where they collaboratively made booths together, and using Boothmaker. But if you're familiar with Unity, you'll have no trouble at all. And we do have tutorials on the basics on how to do it. So you can start from a prefab booth and work your way up from there.
And then I can send you invites. So it's
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. What up, Crimson?
Hello. So my question is, for those who may not have something to submit to VKet, but still want to support VKet, either might maybe offer a free service like doing voices, or maybe help out with artwork or modeling, how would people be able to go about contacting other people for that sort of deal?
Definitely come into the Wednesday World Hops. This session also is probably the best way to do that. You get to meet a lot of other creators as well. And we're going to be doing these all the way up into VKet. And then also, this world that we're in right now is called the How's Your Progress world, because this world is a great place to meet other creators who have already gotten a booth at VKet. So even if you miss the lottery, because it can be pretty tough to get in. We have a limited number of slots, and even though we accept thousands of groups, it still ends up filling up every 6 months, right? So this is a great place to come and meet. Whenever we're doing join this Discord or join this VRChat group, and potentially our Discord if you'd like. And but this VRChat group is a great place. We're always doing events in here, and you're always going to meet other folks that are doing stuff or have done stuff at VKet before. This is a great place to support them and do that. Also, definitely follow our social medias, because we put out calls for things that are a little lower effort. There is also another spot, especially if you speak Japanese. It's crew.vket.com. That is our paid gig site, and you can build a portfolio and toss that on there. One of the things that people generally, especially from the West, generally tend to get into is music production. So if you are a musician and you're making original compositions, crew.vket.com for music callouts is always really good. And we've had a bunch of Western people come in and manage to do stuff with us for that. Because if you guys didn't know, the VKet soundtrack is unique every single time. So we have unique artists coming in and doing both music and lyrics and the general BGM for VKet. It's an entirely new soundtrack every single time. You can find it on Apple Music and Spotify also. So that's a great way to. That is actually a really great way to be part of it. So crew.vket.com for that stuff. But for everything else, if you're a community member, or if you have a community or you'd like to help out with artwork, we've done that before. We got Space Guy over here as well, who was part of Nostalgia Storybook, and so was a lot of other folks. And that we do call outs occasionally for different parts of VKet, especially for submissions. VKet Mart was like one of the best examples because we essentially just gave you a texture and said put your stuff on it, right? You know, so we got everything from like Oz Pearzal's Pear Juice to what else? We had GS Genesis macaroni. Right, we had Asterix ice cream, like you name it, right? So there's you can have your own stuff in there, and so we have these low effort ways to like be part of VKet. But coming to the World Hops on Wednesdays, if you've got the time, we do them at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, and every single week, try to never ever miss one. That's always a lot of fun.
Well, thank you very much for answering my question.
Oh, you're welcome. Yes, Mitron. Yes, to answer the questions in the chat. Yes, the VKet soundtrack is on Spotify and iTunes and Apple So Apple Music, Spotify,
Amazon
YouTube Music. I think we're on Amazon Music. Maybe we're not. And we're on YouTube Music. Yeah, we're definitely on YouTube Music. Actually, yeah. Shifter put the Spotify link in the chat if you're on Twitch. We just added winter 2025. Was it summer 2026 or no? Summer 2025. We just added. Yeah, it's a good driving playlist. Just don't play VKet Formula when you've got.
Oh yeah, that's a bad idea.
You might speed.
I may or may not have gotten a speeding ticket last week, so let's not put on the VKet formula song.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Hi again. Hi. So I have another question. Someone earlier asked if they use scripts. I was wondering, do we need to manually make sure that when the scripts on? I guess like we should make it so that when on disable of the script, then like it undoes everything.
No, we do that for you. So we have a bunch of preset and the script resets when you leave the booth as well. We also have a list of allowed functions. So there's actually some VRChat functions that we disable in VKet for reasons, for obvious reasons. Like you want to have like an item spawner, for example. That would be awful. So like things like that. So we do disable some functions in Udon, and we have essentially a whitelisted table of Udon behaviors that you can do.
I sent you the link.
Yeah, Shadow River as a GA member, of course, is 100% on top of it. He's got all the details. So a lot of people here who have been here have been VKet exhibitors since VKet 4 or later, right? And have done booths over the years, and the SDK does evolve. We love feedback on the SDK. So there is something that happens at the end of VKet. So if any of you get into VKet, please fill out the survey, especially the exhibitor survey. So if you struggled with the SDK, we want to know, because improving that thing is how we make VKet even easier to use. So all of those features, if you found it hard, I can say on great authority that a very small number of people watched the tutorial video this time. So perhaps it needs to be a little bit more easy for people to access, and maybe we'll make improvements to that this time as well. So.
You on VK Discord?
I need to make it to Malawi's also.
You on VK Discord? I cannot find you.
So you need to know a little bit of Japanese to be able to work at VketCon, but just to upload or go to the documentation, is everything like translated already for us to work on?
Yes, absolutely everything is
booths?
translated. Thank to the hard efforts of people like Haya Chikaze and all the localization team. Everything in the SDK is translated, 100% of it. So don't worry. If you speak English, it's there. Google Translate is also your friend, but you won't need it. We translate everything.
No,
Come on.
I didn't hear you. Hi, so quick thing.
Oh,
Drift.
Sorry.
No worries.
Two things. I actually collab with VKet once. I'm just on a different account.
Sure.
So, because if I collabed with VKet once, yet now I have a different account, can I transfer everything there?
Yeah, so the VKet account is an entirely separate account. So if your VRChat account is different, that doesn't, or sorry, if your VRChat account is different, that doesn't matter too much. So if, as long as your VKet account is the same, but you shouldn't have to, so every VKet, you're essentially remaking your circle regardless, so it's not a huge deal if you're using a new account. If you've collabed with VKet in the past and like you just tell us who you are, like we're pretty open about that.
I burned all my money on a yacht.
It doesn't really matter too much. We sort of reset every 6 months regardless, right? So.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, you should get the
The only thing that has a bit of a restriction is if you were an ambassador in the past, you're already still an ambassador alumni. So we sort of, we're not, when we're looking for new ambassadors, we're not grabbing old ambassadors, right? It's because they're already part of that team, right? So it's a wholly different thing.
Mm-hmm. I was an ambassador, so don't worry.
Yeah, that's a very unique
just
thing. Like a collab streamer.
A content creator.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. If you have a different name now and you were a content creator in the past, we look at all content creator applications separately every single year. So.
Okay, so
we've actually changed it to be mostly open for the most part. So yeah.
Because on my VKet account, should I just make a new one so people just don't get confused?
Yeah, sure, if you'd like to. So the VKet account name, like the circle name, you can rename it and nobody will associate it with the previous account regardless. There's like essentially like a unique ID, but you don't necessarily have to. If you can go in and edit your profile and put all the new information and links in there, and that'll work just fine.
So the VKet ID is permanent?
Yeah, the VketChan ID is permanent, but the rest of it is not. So what's shown to users is different.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, no problem.
That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what they're talking about, vket.com has this sign-up process. It works with Line and Microsoft, your Microsoft account, as well as Google. What else did we add recently? We added, there was one more. Maybe, Haya, you can help me out here. Do you remember the name of the other service that we've recently added as a sign-in? For vket.com. Regardless, there's a number of services with OAuth, so you don't have to make an account. You can also just make an account with your email address, but you can sign in with a bunch of them, and those services will connect to vket.com and create something called a VKet ID. With the VKet ID, you can do things like host community events, host personal events, list event listings on the website, also register for VKet, register interest for VKet, and submit. Those are tied to a VRChat account. So whatever VRChat account you have tied to your VKet ID is the one that will actually do the uploading part if you get accepted. Yo!
Hello.
Yo, Kiro.
So I think I have a question that leads into another question.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll start off with the first question is, how does anybody that's, not like with us directly give feedback other than surveys potentially? I know, well, we probably want to talk about that too, but other than surveys, giving feedback about like VKet itself. The reason I ask, and this is the other question, is for like events, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we have the VKet website for events, but what about people that are, that directly in VRChat? We have like the VKet visitor portal world, where they have all that. But will we have that more like visual for others to see, where like it's like newcomers that maybe it's the first time playing VRChat and they're very interested in VKet and they don't know these events and they don't know that they can find it on the website.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
stuff like that.
So this kind of event that we're doing right now is like a first step towards that because this is in groups fair, we're going to see a lot of new people in here, so that's like one of the first things we can do. The second thing is of course Discord, as well as our social media sites. Like that's a good place to do it. You can also leave feedback for VKet on the website itself. So if you join our group here, you'll see that there's links to vket.com and a few other places as well. And you can actually even use our bots in our Discord to leave a ticket and ask questions about that as well. And there's a help channel in there too. So if you like Discord, that's there. The other hub, there's a technical guides, FAQ for exhibitors. There's submission rules as well as frequently asked questions. But there's also a link to something called Ask Us. So I'm actually glad you asked this. So there's something for creators and visitors, for corporations, and for press and media. So if you're totally new to this, it's literally just vket.com/contact. And if you want to ask us a question there's a link to the FAQ, and you can just email us, and it'll go to our Slack. So it'll hit our user communication and support team, of which there are many members, and some of us are involved in. So a lot of English questions and things come through the global team as well, and that's what we're here for. Also, GA, of course, the global assist members, like Sinreth and Kudo. All of those guys have their own channel and they have their own role in our Discord. So for more casual stuff, or if you have questions about VKet in general, and we've got No Pete here as well, and other members like Savvy Chab and Pablos and other folks from GA, they can come in and you can ask questions. You can also ask former VKet ambassadors who are usually quite often happy to help. And of course Shadow River, who runs this world and keeps us all up to date on everything. So they're always happy to help. They're all former VKet exhibitors. They've all done shaders or avatars or Udon gimmicks or whatever you need, and those members are here for you. So the GA is sort of the bridge between like the PR people in the ambassador team and the VKet or Hickey itself. And the GA members can come in, and handle that, and help you out with your booth. Like, that's really what you guys are here for, and it's lovely to have you as well. These guys are super passionate, and you should go to their events, because they're often also throwing events and gimmicks, and they're building things like the, like first timer world hops and all that sort of thing, or showcasing creators.
That's exactly why I ask.
Yeah,
we love newcomers. We want you to come experience this. So we want that event to be shown. We want you to see it. So
No Pete and Kudo here have both hosted like booth world hops where we do a special event inside the world, and then you go through the world and showcase like each exhibitor's booth. Mr. Rue over here, for example, and other folks. Like we'll spend a bunch of time in their booth, invite people who worked on it with them, and sit down and learn a little bit about what it takes to be and do VKet. So after the fact and before, right? If you're struggling with your booth, we're here for you. We won't make you struggle.
It's very understandable.
No, it's great to have you guys. No, thank you for being GA members. Global Assist has been a wonderful team.
No Pete. Thank you.
Oh, no, it does not. It does not have to be English or Japanese. It can be Chinese. It can be Korean. It could be Spanish. We would love it if you included our official languages for sure, but you don't have to. No Pete here is a fluid, obviously living in Korea. We obviously have a lot of folks from China. We have a lot of folks that speak Spanish and Portuguese and Brazilian, and lots of other languages like Polish and Ukrainian. And we'd love to have, and French actually. So on our global team and global assist team at the moment, we have Brazilian, Portuguese, Korean, French, Spanish, English, obviously, and I think there's one more, and Japanese, of course, right? So if you speak lots of different languages and you want or you want help in those, or you want to make a booth in those languages, yeah, feel free. On Wednesdays, we have folks that will help. We have folks that will do translation, and even if you use machine translation for the English part in the booth, it's not a big deal. I think people will generally get the gist. Sometimes also using visual language can really help. So if your booth is self-explanatory without words, then that's an excellent way to get your message across to people, right? If it all makes sense, lots of arrows and symbols and different things like that can bridge that language gap and and make it obvious to you. But yeah, you do not have to speak English or Japanese to be part of VKet. You may have to for the instructions, but I'm sure you can find somebody who speaks that secondary language on our Discord as well, or in our GA GA and ambassador teams. That's a good question too. Thank you. Hey Mogu, we have a tiny frog.
Hi. Oh yeah. Hold up. I'll be right there.
You're welcome.
There we go. Oh yeah. So my question is for like outside of an exhibitor or a general exhibitor, if like for example a corporate, they can apply, or if I am a corporate, I can apply for a world, or what is like the different type of process? What are the different type of perks that a corporate can get? Like instead of a regular exhibitor?
Yeah, that's actually really good you asked. So we don't get a lot of questions about corporate stuff at these sessions. I'm glad you did. So again, if you're a company, like let's say you make a I don't know, an energy drink product, or you make pretty much anything, clothing. What else have we had? We've had clothing, we've had food, we've had entertainment, energy drinks. We've had just about anything you can imagine. Anime, right? Concerts. Cities, we want to like encouraging people to like move to cities in Japan, all kinds of stuff. When you apply as a corporate exhibitor, we have lots and lots of different tiers. I can't talk about pricing right now, but I will help you with that. It's me, you're going to come through. So if you have, if you're a corporate exhibitor and you'd like to be a sponsor of VKET, essentially what we offer is a much better advertising than you would find on the web. We have a lot of like statistics and like just sort of like user stories. A good example is Beams. Beams has had 3 times the uplift in interaction with their booth than they would get if they spent that money on like a Google ad or on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, right? So generally speaking, it's like 3x because people have a TV strapped to their face, and you can make the event interactive, right? So we do have a lot of information. Some of the services that we do is we actually sometimes build the booth for the client. So and also you can even work with community members. Like a good example is the Canon booth that happened in VKET Summer 2025. The Canon booth had collaboration with our ambassadors like Mai Hinamoto, and also the VRC Scanning Club like Ponda and a few other people were all part of the photography that was used to showcase their 3D lens that they were giving out. And those community members and ambassadors were part of that, like the build out for that advertising, and then they push that out to their community members as well. But then you also get in front of a whole lot of other people. We also offer things like VKET Cloud and other services, and we advertise your company throughout all of VKET. Some of the companies that have worked with us, if you have a small or large business and you'd like to do stuff with us, we've worked with JR Rail, one of the largest train like commercial train companies in Japan, Sammy, Universal Entertainment, SMBC and Mizuho Banking, Lawson and 7-Eleven, Sony and Alpine, Mary Quaint, Yamaha, Rakuten, JVC Kenwood, oh gosh, who else? Disney, Netflix, a lot. And so we have a lot of experience working with these companies as part of VKET, and we can both take what you give us, whether it's 3D models or different things. Like, for example, we did a collaboration with Disney's Tron Ares recently, and we built an entire Tron world, and we were able to collaborate with the Battle Discs group here in VRChat to make it even more fun. And they provided us with a bunch of assets from the movie. We optimized them for Quest compatibility in VRChat and then released a special world for them. So we can work with you that way, or you can provide us models like I guess like Sanyo did with eMarine Project, for example, which is like an idol project, music project that they have through Sanyo. And their artists came in and they gave us mostly what they wanted to have in there. We optimized it and created it for VRChat and put it out as a booth in the core world in VKET 6. So yeah, we do a little bit of both. We can help you build the booth directly, or you can provide us with 3D assets and we'll work with them. Right? But now's the time. If you have a corporation that wants to come in and sponsor VKET, now's the time. We're also really competitive in pricing. It's really fair. I would say it's pretty close to what we do. I can't say the exact numbers, but it's pretty close to what you would spend for like a full advertising campaign, but you get so much more out of it. It's like 3x. That's the rough number. And we have a whole documentation about that. It's about.vket.com, and click the biz button at the bottom. And then email me. It's alana@vrhickey.com, and we'll talk to you about it.
Okie dokie. Perfect. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much for coming and asking that question. It's a good one. I like that. We don't get enough. If you guys work for, I'm sure all of you have jobs. if you work in marketing, please talk to us. That's what we do. VKet in itself is a marketing agency, but the reason why we are so successful and have so many sponsors that help pay for VKet every single year is because all you guys are amazing and make amazing stuff. And that's really the reason why they come. Just like Comic-Cat or or Anime New York or anything else like that. That's why that happens. Alrighty. We are overtime. If you guys have any questions, I'm willing to talk for a little bit more. In 45 minutes, we're going to do the Mokuri meetup. If you guys like Made in Abyss or anything else by Akihiro Sugashi, we also have a bunch of like artistic IP that is part of VKet, and various creative art directors have worked with us over the years. One being the creator of Made in Abyss. You guys have probably seen Nanachi's in VRChat before, but the creator of the Nanachi character also has a legitimate VRChat presence in here, and has created an entire universe with us at Hiki called Mokuri. Haya over here is in the first Mokuri avatar that we released for free. And you can be part of that as well. There's a pretty deep lore there, and there's a bunch of different worlds that we've put in VKet over the years. I guess I should talk a little bit about what worlds are. So worlds themselves are essentially a writing prompt for creators. We create these really elaborate and beautiful and deep storylines that connect inside VKet. They're so deep that people like Kyoto and Nekuni go on extreme rabbit holes trying to figure out what is the story connections inside VKet. And those worlds and the way that they're connected in our universe are basically a writing prompt for creators. So if you don't have an idea of what your booth might look like, or maybe you're like stuck a little bit figuring out like what would my next avatar or outfit for my avatar be, or how could I what theme could I fit to, we give you like 17 different worlds to do that in, and we give you not only background art as a starting point, we give you writing prompts and worlds and theme ideas, and then you can start building your booth around that, or building your next character or outfit around that theme. And then when the world comes out, you get a preview of that as well, and you can further refine from there. So the idea is that we give you a deadline, because deadlines motivate people, and then we also give you this writing prompt and this world art done by world-class background artist creators who've often worked inside the gaming industry or in the anime industry, and those backgrounds are done by unique people every single time. And those artists get showcased as well in our trailer reveals for all the background art, and we release that video first, as well as all the previews. When, and this is going to be soon, I can't say exactly when, but it's damn soon, when we actually open up signups for VKet, you will get a preview of what all those worlds are going to look like, including unique background art for them, as well as the themes of each world. So for which one might make sense to apply to. Also, we'd love it if you'd come to the Progress World meetups on Wednesdays, because we talk a little bit about how you can game the system. If you guys want to join me over here, well, since we're going to close this session out, I'm going to go ahead and anchor this to me locally, and I'll show you guys a little bit about how submissions work during the interest period, which we're about to go into. And Shadow River happens to have a couple of charts here about how that sort of shook out during that 2-week period. So over here, these two forms that you see here, these are the application status at the midpoint. So during every VKet submission period, and remember, you don't have to have anything ready when you do this, but during the VKet submission period, this is the interest that we had for the regular exhibitor worlds. So at this point, at the midway point, so it's usually 2 weeks for submissions, right? You know, go ahead and apply. You can do one application per person, and you can join your friends afterwards in a circle. So if yourself and your friends apply, as long as the person who applied knows their way around Unity a little bit, they can generally do this. But the idea is, at this point, as of the midway point, there was 960 groups of people who had applied to be part of VKet. It's essentially a ranked ballot, and you can choose, like, let's say you wanted to be in Kowloon Empire, orderless or chaos, because we have two versions of the world. Most worlds have sort of like a light and dark, or night and day, or two different themes, like they're dichotomies, right? But in these sections here, we have those two sections, and these are the number of people that applied. So there was 48 full booth slots and 126 people applied. There's 67 full booth slots in chaos out of 48. Now, if you're seeing that your particular world is getting absolutely like glomped with people wanting to be part of it, you can change which worlds you apply to during the 2-week application period. So if you saw maybe, for example, down here that VCAT Formula Grand Finals Triumph only had 10 people in it, you're basically guaranteed to get in if you switch your application to that world. And you want to do that during the period. We put out like how many slots are in use and that sort of thing the entire time. So definitely look at that as a way to game the system. A lot of people will put their submissions in and just sort of leave it. But you can, if you feel like, okay, there's no way I'm getting into this world, there's too much competition, it's like a 1 in 10 chance, you might want to go down and be in Utopia and do a single avatar exhibition as well. But we allow you to do individual item exhibitions and booth exhibitions at the same time, especially if it's cross-platform. So if you have a avatar that is Quest compatible and you want to have that, you can submit to have individual applications for Quest compatible stuff as well as the regular booth stuff, and there's a chance you'll get into both. And if you don't get into one, you'll probably get into the other. So the Quest worlds historically, now this may not be the case after this VCAT, we'll see, it changes every year, but historically the worlds like Utopia are a little less busy, so you're more likely to get in those chances. In any case, that's how that works. So yeah. It is 8:18. Any other questions about this stuff before I close it off for tonight and we jump into Project Fang? Anybody? Everybody? All good? Sweet. I hope that worked out for all of you. For those of you watching on Twitch, thank you for coming along today. I'm going to end the stream right here so I have a nice clean exit point. And thank you all for watching along here. And thank you for everybody who coming. This was pretty good. We got a lot of folks here. A lot of newbies. A lot of great questions. We got corporate questions. We got exhibitor questions. We got GA questions. We got all kinds of stuff. Great. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for everybody who asked questions and were part of this as well. And we'll do more of these. We got another one coming for ambassadors to learn a little bit about what they do. And then we have another one coming as well for this session before the application period. So there's your hint, okay? We got another session before the application period, but I can't say the date, not yet anyway. But soon we're going to be revealing the worlds, our redo worlds, as well as our second corporate world. If you guys want to peek at it, we do have one that we've already announced along with a video that came out just the other day. You can go see it right now on all of our social medias, including our YouTube, of Parareal Broadway, which has the concept art right across from me here. So I'm going to go check that out before we end for today. I'm going to give that last frame. This is Parareal Broadway right over here. That's this one. Today. So there is a video that came out just a few hours ago, and you can see a little bit of what this world looks like. It's got that New York flavor, and hopefully you guys enjoy that as well. Our 2 corporate worlds are filled with exhibitors from various places all over the world, and we'd love to get some more Western ones, or wherever you may be from. So please get a hold of us if you're interested in that. Anyway, Pachi. Thank you, all. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Also, make sure to come to Mokuri World Hop if you have time tonight, and Project Fang, which is going on right now.
Well, Mokuri Global Meet, not really World Hop.
Well, it's kind of a World Hop this time because you guys are going to be at Project Fang, right? So.
It's just in a new world. We're not
Well, Shadow River, why don't you come talk about it before I end the stream then? Come here.
It's gonna be a normal world. At least that's what planned.
Oh, I see. Okay, but it is going to be on the project, community group this time, right?
Group.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So
they want, and they also want to set up instance. So
nice.
I don't know how things gonna go.
Well, we'll figure it out. If you guys want to be part, learn a little bit more about Mokuri, Shadow River is definitely the Mokuri to talk to, and we'll be there as well. So we'll see you right after this. Okay. Bye, Twitch. See you later.